NXT starts off with the last qualifying match for the Iron Survivor for the women. Starts off with Jada Parker versus Ren Sinclair, Cora Jade, and Kalani Jordan. They put on a really good match. This was a very entertaining match, but towards the end of the match, you end up getting Lola Vice ends up interfering. She ends up knocking out Ren Sinclair with her, with her spinning back fist, distracting, and then Jada Parker ends up getting distracted, getting pulled out the ring. And as Ren Sinclair is knocked out, they end up pulling an Ethan Page off a heat wave where she gets knocked out, lands on the wrestler, and ends up picking up the victory, which was a very, very cool way to have her win because I did not really see a reason for any other woman to really win this match anyway, and it makes sense with the whole feud that they're having with Jada Parker and Lola Vice. Now I will say this: it was a bit weird how it was set up because the way that when Lola Vice knocked out Ren Sinclair, Jada Parker ducked, but she stayed like ducked in like the ducking position for way too long. But to be fair, Lola Vice took a long time to like pull her out the ring, so it looked kind of weird that Jada Parker was just waiting for her to get pulled. But nonetheless, I understand why. But Ren Sinclair is picking up the victory. Very interesting to see her in the Iron Survivor. Don't think she'll win due to her competition, but it is very shocking that they actually gave her the victory because I didn't think she was going to actually win. I thought it was going to be between Cora Jade or Kalani who's going to pick up the victory. After this ends up leading into a quick look segment with Jada Parker. She's frustrated, of course. She's calling out Lola Vice. She basically wants the underground match on NXT. Then Ava comes out, tells her that the match won't happen, but it will happen at Deadline. Lola comes out. They go back and forth. Lola mentioning the brick and how in the underground match she won't be able to use it. Jada Parker basically ends up saying that she doesn't need the brick. She tosses the brick towards Lola and then knocks her out. Very interested in this feud. I think it's obvious that Lola Vice will most likely win due to the match stipulation because I don't think she doesn't lose underground matches. Plus, based off the Go Home show, Jada Parker standing tall, that kind of tells me how the match is going to play out. But I'm interested in the feud nonetheless. I'm assuming they're going to have a third match, and that will probably be the blow off match. So we'll see how that plays out. After this, we end up getting a tag team battle royal. We end up getting all the tag teams. This is the number one to see who's the number one contender. No Quarter Catch Crew ends up picking up the victory, which I'm not mad at. No Quarter Catch Crew had a really good performance based off tonight's show because they took nothing but W's. They just so we'll be interested to see if they end up winning at Deadline. It's very very interested to see if they actually win the tag titles because I think they could be an interesting tag team with their dynamic with Ren Sinclair and Charlie Dempsey. So I think it could be very interesting, but we have to see how that plays out at Deadline. So very interested to see how that plays out. Now we end up getting Eric Bischoff and Trick Williams and Ridge Holland segment. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't understand why Eric Bischoff had to be on the show based off what he did here. Now, I wasn't expecting much, but I do feel like this was just kind of random, and I do feel like that there was really no need to do this, in my opinion. But it starts off with Rich Holland ends up saying that Trick Williams is an insult to what NXT should stand for. And he basically talks about how he's going to be NXT champion, how he's going to take everything away from Trick Williams. Then Trick responds back, ends up addressing his issue with Rich Holland. He ends up saying that Rich Holland is not original. He's very boring and he's very bland. And he ends up saying that Rich Holland wished that he had everything that Trick has. Rich responds back, and well, actually, I forgot exactly what Rich ended up saying. They end up going back and forth. The promo was alright. It was an alright promo. They go back and forth. Now I remember. Ridge ends up calling Trick Williams soft. Yeah, he ends up calling him soft. Trick gets angry. Then they both brawl. Ridge gets the upper hand, and he ends up putting him. Well, the table didn't break, but he ends up hitting his finisher on the table, and Trick Williams gets stretched out. They end up trying to play the story of will Trick Williams fight at Deadline, but we know he's fighting at Deadline. Hopefully, now assuming that they're going to play some type of injury angle, which I don't really like when babyfaces play an injury angle because I feel like babyfaces are way too overpowered already. They don't need an injury because every time they have an injury, it feels like they're more overpowered than they already are. But this was a decent build, decent promo, nothing too major, but I'm excited for the match. Well, I'm excited to see the outcome of the match. Even though I feel like I know the outcome of the match, I'm excited for the outcome. I would say the match itself because I don't know how this match is going to play out because I don't think the match is going to be a banger because Ridge Holland and Trick Williams aren't bad in-ring performers, but they're not people that I expect to carry a match as well. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Then we end up getting Nikita Lyons versus Carmen Petrovic, building up their feud over Ashante. Carmen, during the match, actually, Ashante ends up coming out. He comes out and then he ends up actually helping Carmen because Nikita was finna attack, but he ends up pushing her out the way, which allowed Carmen Petrovic to take advantage and pick up the victory. But during this, well, actually, before this, actually, it was a segment where Ashante ended up sending Carmen flowers. He ends up apologizing, and it seemed like they was on good terms. But then, after this match, they're back on bad terms because Carmen is wondering why Ashante pushed her. Which, gonna be honest, I didn't like this angle because I didn't like the reasoning. I understand he pushed you, but to be fair, you should understand why he pushed you. But they're probably gonna have some type of makeup thing next week because they could easily just show the tape, and then that should be able to do the whole makeup thing. But nonetheless, we'll see how this story goes. Like I said, I've been loving the story. I think Ashante been doing some great work, and Carmen been doing some really good work too, playing this character she's been playing as well. After this, we end up getting Gigi Dolan versus Izzy Dame. Gigi picks up the victory. First match back since her return. Makes sense. The thing that's interesting is Shawn Spears, because during this, Shawn Spears basically, it seems like Shawn Spears is trying to recruit Gigi Dolan, which would be very interesting. The only thing is, I don't know how that would even work and how that would play out, because what would be her role in the only thing I could think of is that she could just be like the neutralizer for like Adriana Rizzo. That's the only thing I could think of. So that would be very interesting to see if she actually joins Shawn Spears. I don't know if I like the idea, but I don't hate it either. Plus, I don't know where you put her in the title picture. Well, you could just put her in the North American title scene, to be honest with you. You could just put her in that scene as a babyface and then have her go after that. But yeah, very interested to see how that plays out. I don't really have an opinion on it because I'm very mixed on it. I could see it working, but I can also see it not working at the same time. Then we end up getting the men's final qualifying match for the Iron Survivor. Eddie Thorpe picks up the victory. I'm not gonna really go over the match. I don't even know if the match was good or not. The reason why I can't go over because I end up getting spoiled because I end up randomly going on my phone on YouTube and then it just randomly popped up that Eddie Thorpe won. So I didn't even bother to watch the match when I got home. I just ended up skipping through it because I was already spoiled, so I didn't feel like watching the match. So Eddie Thorpe picks up the victory. Highly doubt he's gonna win, but he should. But it's a good thing that he's in the Survivor match, and we'll see how he does at Deadline. Now we end up getting the main event. Roxanne Perez cuts a promo. She basically talks about everyone in the match, talks trash to, everyone in the Iron Survivor. Then everyone in the Iron Survivor match ends up coming out. And then they all end up brawling. Roxanne Perez is on the outside while the other four women are brawling with each other. Then out of nowhere, Ren Sinclair, because Ren Sinclair was the only one that wasn't out there. She comes out of nowhere, knocks out Roxanne Perez on the outside, and then picks up the championship. This is crazy because it would be crazy if Ren Sinclair actually be the one to win the Iron Survivor. That would be crazy if they actually do that, bro. Like, it would be wild. Now, my Deadline predictions will be coming out later on today. This was overall a really solid show of NXT. The video is uploaded a little bit late because I was working late and then I was extremely tired. But you guys let me know your opinions down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.